Hi everybody, I'm Todd of the Film Pigs. I'm sitting in my car after seeing Skyfall. I got my kid in the back here. Come here, say hi to the, say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, quick note, I did not take my 7-year-old boy to see Skyfall. That would be bad parenting. I went to see it, and then my wife brought him to the theater, and we traded the kids so we could take turns watching this new James Bond movie. So Skyfall is, it's very pretty. There are lots of pretty lights and neons and fireworks and stuff. And there's a lot of talking. And the plot basically amounts to Javier Bardem he had his face messed up by some acid or something, and he's mad at Judi Dench, and so he wants to kill her. And James Bond wants her not to be killed by Javier Bardem, and that's it. That's it. Nobody wants to dominate the world. Nobody wants to, drop poison gas all over everybody in Europe or anything like that. It's just a cranky, whiny ex-agent whose face got messed up in the line of duty, and now he's mad at M. Oh, M, Mom, I hate you. I quite frankly, and then this is the third movie with Daniel Craig, and the third movie in a row where they're constantly reminding us that, no, you're not going to get old school James Bond. There's so much dialogue in this movie that's dedicated to reminding us that we're not going to get exploding pens or anything fun like that. And it happened so often in this movie, it stopped feeling like a raspberry, the old James Bond, and more of a kind of an apology. Sorry we have to be so earnest, but the studios won't let us have any fun with James Bond anymore. And the critics love this movie, and I hate to be disrespectful of their very important subjective opinions, but this movie's okay, it's fine, but it's no fun. What happened to I like the gadgets, and there aren't enough car chases there is cool action in this. Like, the opening sequence is good, really good and fun, and then there's a fun silhouetted fight scene, and then a thing with CGI Komodo dragons or something, which was all right. But the action sequences, with the exception of the very beginning one and the very end one, they're very brief. And there's a lot of talking that happens in between, and I grew up in the 80s when Bond movie, that light fell. Oh, God. Sorry, as I was saying before, the lighting fiasco, I am a child of the 80s, and that's when the Bond movies became less precious about their plotting and more about jamming as much action into 2 hours as possible. The new James Bond movies, these Brian Craig ones, are very precious about their plotting and their dialogue. What? Did I say Brian? I meant Daniel. I meant Daniel Craig. I know this guy named Brian Craig. He's a really nice guy, but that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Daniel Craig. Anyway, these Daniel Craig ones are more like the very old Sean Connery ones, where there is a lot of talking in those and not as much action, which is fine. But I just, even those, the old Sean Connery ones, Sean Connery had a flair and had fun. Daniel Craig is he's super grumpy. I like Daniel Craig. I think he's a good actor. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It's just the choices they're making for Bond, they're just not as much fun as they used to be. And quite frankly, let's get some gadgets back into Bond. Let's make them about action and less about, and I want guys who want to take over the world. That's more fun than a guy who wants to hurt an old lady. It's just more fun that way. It is more fun, and it's bigger. The scope is bigger, and it's sillier. That's the thing. They're trying to make it feel more real. But let's be honest. There's nothing real about a super spy who, everywhere he goes, everybody knows him. Everybody knows it's 007. That's the mark of a terrible, terrible spy. There goes the light again. All I'm saying is I want the fun to come back. And, I want more fun to happen with James Bond and less of the grumpiness. I mean, this movie's okay. It's okay. It's fine. But it's not the best Bond movie of all time. Come on. Stop with the hyperbole, people. It's an okay movie. It's more, and again, these movies are more like Bourne movies than they are like Bond movies. And I get why they're doing that, because Bond is a dinosaur and all that. But you know what? When he was, he's a dinosaur, but he's a fun dinosaur. And you know what? Dinosaurs are fun. They should have James Bond fight dinosaurs. That's it. That's all I'm saying. The next movie should be James Bond in Jurassic Park. And there should be gadgets and cars that spit up oil that make other cars crash. What happened to the car chase? There should be more car chases, you guys. Unless it ended in a farmhouse. What is that? Why is so many movies and TV shows wind up in farmhouses in the middle of nowhere? Why couldn't there have been a giant satellite dish that came out of a volcano and then like sent lasers to the moon that would bounce off the moon and blow up the world? What happened to that? Bring back the dinosaur Bond. Bring him back. That's all.